Here we go. Uh, I did a 10, 15 second uh, thingy. It failed. So hopefully this one does not fail. But we shall see. I checked all the vocals and all that good stuff. I'm back on. It's a busy week. I do have many topics that I'm writing down. Um, and I don't think I want to talk about any of them right now. Got a lot of things moving. Let's talk about bag update. I purposely have not really looked at the bags until yesterday. It's been about 4 or 5 days since I've looked at the coffee bags, and I think the approach that I'm going to go with is go ahead and revisit the bags again sometime over the weekend. But I will focus on the 12 ounce to 16 ounce bags, not the sample bags, not the 2 pound bags. The reason why is because those two other bags are extremely critical in the marketing and the way I want things to be presented. And for the most part, they're fine. They do have information on the front and back, but on the middle bag, it's just going to have information on the front. And then if I want to, use a sticker or whatnot, I can go ahead and do that. Play around with that for a little bit before I decide to think of what I need to do for the sample bags. I will also start the process of getting my Amazon membership to sell things on there, and hopefully I will be able to get a person on there so I can go ahead and see if they can walk me through some of the ideas that I have for my packaging, and yeah, so it will be interesting, but I think that's the better approach. And then I can start using the middle bag, so to speak, immediately. And yeah, so that's that on the back stuff. I did modify another thing to it, so that will work out the way it needs to, and I'll just be ready for it. It's gonna be some good stuff. Mm, Coffee wise, this week I've been drinking this dark roast that I've had for about almost 2 months, about a month at least. It tastes fine, no issues with it. It's just interesting how I don't think I'm trying different things with this particular coffee. It's okay, but I'm really interested in the. Oh, that's right. Now that I exhausted the coffee that this dark roast that I just finished, I can go ahead and go back to the Honduras coffee. I may pick that up tomorrow, actually, on Friday. I will remember to roast a lot finer on that. So we will see how it tastes. I roasted that over the weekend. So I should have a better gauge and understanding. It should degassed quite a bit already. So I'm looking forward to seeing how that coffee will taste. And that one I was considered more so like a true medium. And that should be a lot of fun. But yeah, so that's what I got going. Um, and everything is extremely busy, other stuff other than coffee uh, this week. And that's cool. I have to keep pushing and understand what's going on. But yeah, that's how life is, did the reason why also is because my kids, I had to watch them because my wife was on vacation. So there was a lot of work involved that way. And yeah, so that was that. So what am I going to talk about? I know one of the other topics that I need to put on the list is, I would call it ground coffee people versus whole beans coffee people, because they are different. um, I like both actually, but of course I like both. But they are different. They have different characteristics, and I don't think that's one of the things people really talk about as much. We'll talk about that when the time comes. I want to talk about. I haven't actually on here twice about distribution. My favorite coffee maker that I use all the time. Talk about light roast coffee. Those are some of the topics I have, and I'll continue as I think about things. And probably once this is up there, you'll be able to give me some topics too. But yeah, so that's going to be very paramount in what has to go on. Things that I just always really kind of just wanted to talk about, but I never really, had the chance or opportunity to really just broadcast it. And I think that's pretty cool. One thing I will talk about, I guess I can talk about that right now because I'm talking right now, is some of my favorite podcasts that's extremely helpful in like what I do, and I don't know. I'm not going to talk about that. I know I'm all over the place, and it seems like I don't really have anything to talk about, but I do, and I hope all is well. I feel that I'm about to end this podcast right now, but let's just see what happens. Let me meditate for like 10-15 seconds and see what comes out after that. Okay. I think that was helpful. I'm gonna say this. What did, for this week, dropping the ball teach me about productivity and illusions and all that stuff, and how it can perhaps be helpful to you? Um, yeah. Since I didn't really have any help to this whole week, I had to drop the ball on quite a bit of things. Sweeping, uh, clothes. I had to get the kids ready, but I had to realize what needed to get done. Just a lot of things that I usually do during the week, and it really wasn't done. And I gotta tell you, that's extremely liberating, especially going through it and realizing that certain things that we do that we put high on our list of to do. I mean, I'm not saying that it's not important. Most of that stuff can get done over the weekend or whatnot, or pay somebody to do it, but it's not that critical, especially when you're trying to be productive and all. And that's what happened. And how can we relate that back to coffee? I think really just keeping it simple, letting you know that you don't have to brew the coffee at this temperature, at this grind, to blow into the coffee, do a couple spins. If it's not done, and if it's done at 2 minutes and 35 seconds, the coffee's ruined. Just what about just pouring 2 pours and drinking the coffee and moving on with your day? Well, what is that okay? I think that's okay. So it's rituals, routines, chores. We do those all the time, right? And sometimes we get too stuck on them. And that's one thing that I am trying to try to understand as much as possible, to realize that there's a lot of things that we don't have to do. And I think that's where I really want to find a recipe that just works for everybody, especially for, hustle and bustle everyday person. Even if they do decide to use like a B60, can they actually produce a decent cup quickly without thinking about it? Or if they just simply want to put it in a coffee maker and move on with their day. That's one thing that I have to really want to solve and conquer. And I think that'll be fun, just to keep things basic and move on and do something else, worry about something else for the rest of the day. Because there's so many things that we have to do, that we want to do, that we think that we have to do, and all that stuff. But in truth, there's not too many things that we do have to do or want to do. And that's one thing that I will have to try to really understand and bring that back to center. Because if you don't, then you'll be running around in circles, and you look at your life and you're like, whoa, I spend a lot of my time sweeping or even doing somebody else's work. And you don't want to have any regrets. You want to be like, I did a lot of stuff for myself. So, yeah. I don't know if this makes any sense. We'll see how it comes out, but that's what I got. I'm just trying to be consistent, loving this podcast stuff, and it's been a lot of fun. So I will talk to you in the next couple of days.